Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in Let's Play Football Manager with Brighton 2013. And here we are now into 2020, so the next decade. Yes, we're getting there now. We are really scooching along. I think if I keep up this rate, I may actually break the record that I set with Liverpool that we got to 2000. I think it was 2045, wasn't it? But we're halfway there, nearly. So this is how the league table looks then in February 2020. As you can see, we have a game in hand on Chelsea. We're still third, but if you look at the draw column again, we have still drawn too many games. We've only lost the one game, though, which is good. Excellent, in fact. But still too many draws, way too many draws. So we would actually be joint second in the league if we went on draws alone. Only Swansea have drawn more than us. That's terrible. But as I say, we have a game in hand though on Chelsea, so if we do win that, we will actually go second. It'll be 3 points, although Man United also have that game in hand. So we could be 3 points behind them. We could be 6 points behind them. Or even like 9 points behind them. I don't know. But yeah, this is it's very, very intriguing, this one. As you can see, it was, again, just not quite there with the goals. As you can see, we're concede-wise, goals against, we're doing okay. I mean, it's okay, 6 goals more than Man United, but considerably less than Chelsea. Just pretty much level with Tottenham, but we've scored more goals than Tottenham, but we quite haven't got the same amount of goals scored as United and Chelsea. Them two are just dominating at the moment, and I'm just hoping that their regens are just not going to produce. I'm just banking on over the next few years them just hopefully dying away, leaving the door open for me. That's all I can hope for at the moment, because Arsenal and Liverpool have fallen away. City have also fallen away, which is a bit weird. I think Roberto Mancini is still there, and they've actually got a half decent team, City, but not really working at the moment. Anyway, transfers. See how we done. So players out. So I told you last time I sold Harry Kane. He has buggered off now to Wigan, and he's actually doing really well. I can see why I wanted to buy him. And ironically, I think this was before this. I am playing ahead, I should point out. But if it did happen, if it hasn't happened yet on this, then fair enough. But it will happen, trust me. Where there's a clause in his deal to Wigan where if he scored 10 goals, Wigan had to pay us £350,000. Guess who he scored that 10th goal of the season against? Yeah, as you can see, it's 8 goals, but he will do this. We will do this later on. He will score a goal against Brighton. So his goal against us cost them £350,000. Isn't that incredible? Type of thing I could actually see happen in real life. Victor Nietzsche now, a lot of players now I've talked about before. I think Thomas Nessed was a great example. They've done the job. They've taken us about as far as they can. They're not up to the level I need them now. Thomas Nessed was a good championship level player, a middle level Premier League player, but once we got to the Champions League, that's when he started to fade away and not really be, basically be surplus to requirements. So, the same with Victor Nietzsche. Although he did keep up his scoring rate, I just couldn't find a spot for him in the team anymore. Not to mention, he's at QPR now, but not to mention he's getting on a bit, and as well, I need more quality, and the team is always getting bigger. And one of the hardest things, I've mentioned in an earlier video, the hardest thing at this stage in the game when you have a team like this is man management. Just making every single player happy. It's impossible to keep every player happy, so you've got to keep squad. You've got to find that middle balance of a big enough squad so that you don't exhaust your players, but a small enough squad so that your players don't get upset that they're not starting it all the time. So, yeah, maybe it is. The game is arguably sometimes a bit too bitchy about it, where it'll, a player gets dropped after one game and it's like, why aren't you playing me? And it's like, fucking hell, all right. I'll play you next game. John Joe Shelby, again, he's another one potentially surplus to requirements. I don't know, but he's gone to Stoke, kind of about his level. That's the thing about Shelby. I think is what's going to happen with him in real life as well. He will be that close to being great. He's just not there. Kieran Gibbs, another one I just couldn't fit in the team. He is now at Burnley. Luis, he's a prime example of someone who's moaned and moaned and moaned and moaned. God, for such a young player. That's one thing I'm finding. A lot more younger players now on this are wanting to be in the team. Like, I've just signed a 16-year-old and on the condition that he would be a rotation player. Otherwise, it was either that. I said hot prospect, and they went, nope, straight away, back to rotation. And he was like, no, I want to be in the first team. I was like, mate, you're 16. Come on. It's stupid. Swiderski, the regen here, he's now at Huddersfield. Carl Jenkinson went to Blackburn again. I never really rated Jenkinson. I was quite happy that I managed to get a bit of money on him. In fact, I made a profit on him. Quite incredibly. 4 decent seasons out of him. And I don't think he's actually... See, look at the average rating. Good God, 6.6. That's horrendous. And a few younger players here. Paulo Silva. I liked Paulo Silva. It's a shame, really. I don't know why... Yeah, he was another one, young player that demanded to be in the first team, to be a first team player constantly. It was like, mate, I cannot fit you in this team at your age. It's stupid. He's gone on loan, and I got a bid. Now, D'Alessandro wasn't necessarily surplus requirements, but I got an offer, and that's a record offer, by the way. £4.5 million. I needed to make room for a team, and someone's offering me £4.5 million for a player, and I'm not using that much, but it's still useful. I got to take it. I had to take him. And if you just look at the last few seasons, he really, 3 appearances that season, 8 appearances last season, not many. But 1.1 million, got us a winner in the Europa League final, £4.5 million after 6 years. I ain't complaining. So yeah, that is D'Alessandro. So these are the players that I've brought in. A lot of these are youngsters. Just bear with me. First one here is I think he's a regen, from Juventus. So Giulio Dandria. I want to give him a nickname Dandruff, but I'll just forget who it is. I actually did loan him years ago. Well, did I? Holy shit, I didn't know that. I actually did loan him years ago, but I didn't really use him that much. Of course I did. Jesus Christ, I just remembered that, yeah. And that's the reason why I brought him back, was because of his potential. I thought he's got a lot of potential. I will bring him back. And he's done okay. He's a very good DMC. Now, this is a record signing, Brighton's record signing, and he looks to be an absolutely incredible beast. Look at him. He looks like Trevor Sadler even. Ronald Custers, which is a brilliant name. I want to call him Custard as well, but I don't like giving players nicknames. He's a Dutch centre-back slash. Well, in fact, look where he can play. He can play anywhere in defence. And for a 21-year-old, he is brilliant. He is absolutely fantastic. And his composure is fantastic. If you look at his composure, is 30. It's actually gone down. Whereas anticipation, one of the things I look for in a defender, anticipation, teamwork and work rate is all pretty good. His tackling's 18. Heading is 17. Fitness, strength, all the good little stats there. I think he's really impressed me in the matches. And this is Carlo Lafuente. 16 years old. See, he wants to be a backup at 16. That is not... I don't care how good he is. That's not realistic. Stupid. This is one I'm really excited about. He looks really good. This is Mickey... I'm going to call him Mickey Ferreira. Or, yeah, it's Ferreira, isn't it? Yeah. Because there's the tennis player, David Ferreira. Or Ferreira. Is it Ferreira or Ferreira? Back me up on that one. And, yeah, this is... I think he looks quite decent. He's impressed me. I think he's played a few games and he's impressed me immensely from Barcelona. So, yeah. And then there's the players. There's two more. There's Davide Santon. I've brought in on loan from Inter. I thought, hey, I can't let this opportunity pass up to get him on loan. I've barely going to spend anything on his wages. So I thought, why not? And he's a very, his average rating's pretty good there, as you can see. Why not spend a bit of, a loan fee, 100k, so I'm probably going to spend £1 million on having a decent left back. Meant to be, at one time he was touted as potentially being one of the, a future best left back in the world, potentially. And then these are January transfer signings. I brought in Pato. He was available on loan. I thought this might be a decent option. Maybe he will be, I don't know. And I talked about him last video, Coutinho. I'm not paying that much on his wages. Man United are. I don't think this would happen in real life. I can't see Man United loaning that important first team player to a title rival. But whether they consider us title rivals, I don't know. But yeah, he looks pretty good. Has he played yet? Yeah, he scored in his debut. He scored in his debut, which you'll see in a moment. And yeah, so. I only spent £3 million, especially when considering now my transfer fee is growing every time. I'm getting a slightly higher transfer budget, which is excellent. So we'll go over the fixtures now. And we start here. So the first game was against Southampton, and Ganso with the 2 goals. That gave us a very nice victory. As you can see, Shell had a penalty missed in the first 3 minutes. He was gutted about that. And we then turned that on its head as Ganso here scored in the 7th minute. So it was a pretty good start overall, actually. I played Thibaut Bourgeois, who's a youngster I'm quite excited about, although again the younger players do want a first team place constantly. It's like, mate, you're 19. I can't give you a first team place ahead of Wilfred Zaha and Wayne Rooney and all these players. Like, why do you deserve this place? You've done nothing to impress me, type of thing. So yeah, that is one thing that really is starting to get on my nerves a bit. I don't know whether that would happen in real life. Maybe they will. I don't know. But some players really do take it too far sometimes, where in wanting a first team place at such a young age. I mean, yeah, Raheem Sterling, for example, yeah, but he is touted to be an England star in the next few years. And that's a really nice goal from Ganso there as well for the second. Very similar goals actually. But Raheem Sterling is an exception. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Next game was against Newcastle, 3-2. Wilfred Zaha goal scoring 2. Lazar Malkovic also scoring, as you can see here. Malkovic with the 80th minute goal. I thought that was it. Jean-Philippe goal. In fact, I'll just show you this Malkovic goal real quick. Jean-Philippe Gorez scored in the 92nd minute to put us make us a little bit nervous, but thankfully it wasn't too bad. And don't ask me what happened there. The defender totally misjudged it. Strange goal for them to concede. And then 3-2 against Millwall. Zaha scoring 2 again, and Markovic also scoring the winner yet again. And then I think this is where the tides are turning now. 1-0 against Man City at Eastlands. Not Eastlands, at Man City Stadium. I love the... actually, let's just before we have a look at the goal, let's have a look at Man City Stadium. Their stadium capacity is 79,110. Man City Stadium. It's like Juventus Stadium. Who names these things? James Ward-Prowse right on half-time. Excellent. The first time I've actually got James Ward-Prowse the best out of him, because I've managed Southampton before. I think I've brought him in once before as well, and this is the best I've ever got out of him. So yeah, he's turned into a very, very, very good little player now. And there you go, bang, Markovic doing all the work. James Ward-Prowse with a tidy finish. And a 1-0, so great start for us here in the league. 4 wins on a row, and here we go. So Champions League group. So this is who we got drawn against, and as you can see, played 6-1-6. Did really well against Atletico Madrid, Fenerbahce, and Partizan Belgrade. This is how we started. Although we had a very poor start to it all. We conceded a penalty in the first minute, and went down to. In fact, look at that, 2-0 down inside 5 minutes to Partizan Belgrade, and I just thought, this isn't going to work, is it, at all? So I can't remember what it did, but brought on Vitor Montero, Chadley and Kakuta then spared our blushes and got us out of that one. 3-1 against Fenerbahce. Dawson, Zaha and an own goal gave us the victory against the Turks there. And 3-2, a great game against Atletico Madrid. Andrew Cross scoring a penalty. Markovic with 2 after, again, they came back from 1-0 down to... it wasn't 1-0 down, sorry, I beg your pardon. It was an up and down game. Like, the first half hour was crazy. And we took him back to our place and gave him a bit of a spanking as Custard scored his first goal. James Ward-Prowse and Chadley scored to make it 3-0. Zaha got a late winner against Partizan Belgrade. And then last game there was I played the weaker team. And as you can see there, Reina, Montero and Gautier scoring. So that's a few regen youngsters there getting on the score sheet. Very good. And their first drop points of the season as Wilfred Zaha came back to score 2 goals against his former club Tottenham. We were again 2-0 down, but managed to bring it back. Wilfred Zaha there doing a very good job. Of course, he did play for Tottenham, the team I bought him from before he came to us. Beat Sunderland in the Capital One Cup. Zaha yet again scoring, and you'll be able to see a common theme here. Lewis Dunk also scoring. Zaha, Markovic and Marin with 3-1 against Everton. Will Buckley scored a hat-trick. I don't know where that came from. And Liam Bricott and Zaha also scoring in a 5-0 thrashing of West Brom. And we also beat Chelsea 2-1 at the Bridge. Will Buckley and Wilfred Zaha scoring. I tell you now, Wilfred Zaha is incredible. Will Buckley in the 90th minute, no less. Now, there's a name you might recognise if you watch the FM12 Regen series. Rui Silva, remember him? Yeah, it's obviously a different player. Jack Butland's got to do better there. I'm sorry, I don't know what he was doing. But Rui Silva gets his first goal for Chelsea. Obviously, a completely different player, just happens to share his name. Yeah, no, I thought the same thing too. But yeah, he was very weird because he was the first person I ever saw, a regen, who had long hair at the age of 19, and then he became a manager. Check this out from Zaha, by the way. Oh, finish. He became a manager and shaved all his hair off, which was weird. You know, the way that the regen pictures changed, it was just strange. I was like, that's not the same player. It's very weird. Anyway, this is it here. Will Buckley, again, anytime I bring him in, he just does a job, and he does it brilliantly. Here he goes now. Liam Brithcourt, he's another player. Brithcourt and Will Buckley have been here since the beginning from the Championship, and they have adapted superbly to the Premier League, and they are genuine potential. So if you are looking for good potential players, possibly cheap, Will Buckley and Liam Brithcourt are definitely the way to go. And there you go, cross coming in now from Marin, and Buckley nearly allowing Peter Cech to get it there, but Will Buckley in the last minute, look at that, 90 minutes coming to now, winning goal, and at Stamford Bridge of all places. So yeah, well done there, excellent game. 2-2 against Wigan, as you can see, starting a few draws now. Start to creep in here against slightly weaker teams, Dandria, and Buckley also scoring again. Unfortunately went out on penalties to Southampton, not really too good in the Capital One Cup. Wayne Rooney had a bit of a poor game. Although Jack Butland did okay, we just locked out on penalties, and that was it really. There you go. Capital One Cup, as I say, I'm not too bothered by. Rooney not really misfiring again against Nottingham Forest. 3-2 against Norwich, Wilfred Zaha scoring a hat-trick. 4-1 against Huddersfield, Wilfred Zaha getting a hat-trick. 3-0 against Man United, Wilfred Zaha getting 2. So that's 8 goals in 3 games. And we battered United. I don't understand how we done that. D'Alessandro also scoring there. Astonishing. I don't know what drugs Wilfred Zaha was taking, but they seem to be working. He also scored the winner there, as you can see, against Partizan Belgrade. And we won a couple of draws here. Markovic scoring, unfortunately, Norton putting through his own net. And a 1-1 draw at Anfield. Ganso rescuing us a point there. 1-1 against Arsenal. Decent points, I guess. But they are a little bit in free fall, Arsenal, at the moment, or at least they were at this time. Zaha having an off day. How do you do? Wilfred Zaha getting a hat trick again against Aston Villa. This time, Hagazzi also scoring. You can really start to see a pattern here, can't you? Will Buckley's coming into the team yet again. He was missing there for a few games, but he came back and scored to get us a point against Cardiff. I really can't play against Cardiff. I just can't play them at all. Our loss actually came against Swansea. Marco Marin scoring, but it was not enough. Lewis Dunk, as you can see, had a poor game. Gio Kakuta also had a poor game. 2-2 against Southampton, as you can see, not doing too well at this point. Not the best Christmas period in the world, but one loss, can't argue with it, but no real wins if you discount the Aston Villa game, which was pre-Christmas. But Buckley and Zaha scoring there, so excuse a point at St Mary's. 0-0 against Tottenham in the FA Cup. 1-1 against Newcastle, so as you can see now, really not winning. We haven't won in the league, but Zaha getting 2 again against Tottenham as they knocked his whole team out. And then finally we got a win nearly a month in the league after we last won. James Ward-Prowse, Dandria and Kakuta with 2 goals. With a goal each altogether. Then we had a 1-1 draw against Colchester, which was really poor. Coutinho came in, and I'll show you, this was his debut. Pato also had a game, and as you can see, I played a lot of young players here. If we just look, Luis Felipe coming in, Jeffrey Broom, obviously one of the experienced players. Mickey Ferreira did a really good job, 8.1. And yeah, I'll show you Coutinho's goal. As you can see, it was inside 2 minutes, and I thought, oh yes, what a signing to bring in on loan, for the rest of the season. This could potentially change it all. And there was a ball in there from Ferreira, and we did. It was a great start, but unfortunately we couldn't build on it, and we just died a death in the game. But we bounced back to beat City 4-2, so that's a double over City. Our own goal, Hagazzi, Markovic and Ward-Prowse, with the goals of James Ward-Prowse, big scourge of Man City there. A 1-1 draw at Goodison Park, Wilfred Zaha. And then this happened. I have no idea. Alexander Pato does not seem to be a good signing. Coutinho had a decent game. Buckley had a decent game, but I can't explain what the hell happened here. Sometimes the game just throws this up. As far as I can see, this just happens sometimes. And yeah, I'm going to leave you on that, which is very strange. I'm sure you're expecting like a nice win there or whatever. No, we got battered 4-0. I really can't explain that one. It's trouble manager at its best, I guess. Very, very odd indeed. I'm just going to glaze over that one. Play stats, though, if we look, Wilfried Zaha is currently leading the average rating and goals in the Premier League, which I've only ever had one player ever. Actually, no, two players. I beg your pardon, two players in the history on the sort of FM saves, I guess. I can't remember. Can't remember back to FM 11, but I remember on the Regen series we only ever had two players win the leading goal scorer for the season, and also, as you can see, he's ahead in player of the match by a considerable margin. We only ever had two players win leading goal scorer in the league, and that was Luis Suarez. I might have had three actually. We had Goetz, didn't we? We had Noah Goetz and Fredinho. We have had three, so hopefully Zaha can become number four. Let's hope. And I think I'll leave you on that. So yeah, that is how the league looks at the moment. Again, we are pushing for a title challenge. What will happen come May? Let's find out then in the next video. So cheers for watching. Give the video a like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.